In this video, we're going to have a look at how to find the rule of a linear line using a graph. So to find the rule of the linear line, our first step is to find the gradient of the linear line using our formula. Our second step is to identify the y-intercept. And the third step is to substitute those values into the general rule y equals mx plus c. Remembering that m is the gradient and c is the y-intercept. So let's have a look at an example of how do we find the rule using those three steps. So in this example, we want to find the rule for the linear line in the graph. So step one is to find the gradient. So gradient is going to equal y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So to use the formula, I need to identify 2 points on my line that I can use as my sets of coordinates. So I'm going to use 2 and 2 and 4 and 3. So I'm going to write those coordinates off to my side. So 2 and 2, 4 and 3. Next, I want to label those x1, y1, x2, y2. And that will enable me to go back and substitute those values into my formula. So y2 minus y1 is going to be 3 minus 2 over x2 minus x1, so 4 minus 2. So that's going to equal to 1 over 2. So the gradient of my line is 1 over 2. The next step is to go and find my y-intercept. And to find my y-intercept, I want to start at the top of my y-axis and go down until I hit my line. Once I hit my line, I want to have a look at what value that I stop at, and that is 1. So my y-intercept is 1. And my third step to find the rule is to substitute those values into the formula y equals mx plus c. So my gradient is going to be 1/2. My y-intercept is 1. So my rule is going to be y equals 1/2 of x plus 1. So that's an example of how we can find the rule of a linear line using the line on the graph.